Hey, good morning. Today we're going to talk about probably my favorite topic, which is Google. This thing is complex. It's not easy to understand. I'm always explaining it all the time. And so today I just want to hit on kind of the 1,000-foot view of Google as a whole, right? So, three things why it's important: terminology and areas of focus on Google, right? It's very, very simple. Why is it important? Well, let's start with just the fact it's a verb, right? Google it. What other businesses have a verb type to it, right? These stats are July 2025, so these are old. We're talking 9.5 million searches per minute, right? 9.5 million a minute. 89.66% of global searches basically owns the search market, right? 5 trillion searches per year, trillion with a T. 22.4% CTR. I'm going to jump to terminology. CTRs click-through rate for number one position. What that means is if you are number one, 22.4% of those searches, 9.5 million a minute, are going to click on it. Click-through rate. They're going to click on that number one. So you have a 1 in 5 chance of every search clicking on you if you rank number one, right? Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last, right? Over 60% on mobile. So if you're not focusing on your mobile website design and your mobile presence, look at on desktop and mobile. A lot of web designers strictly look on desktop and think about mobile second. This is the majority, is mobile. And most searches are 3 to 4 words, right? What does that mean? Focusing on one keyword on your whole site is not going to get you all the opportunity that you need. You got to have a nice, flexible focus on your keyword strategy. Okay. Now let's go over terminology. GBP, formerly GMB. GMB, Google My Business, is what it used to be. Then a year or so ago, switched to GBP, Google Business Profile. Accessing this, you switch. GMB, there used to be an app. Now your GBP on mobile, you access through Google Maps. That's how you make changes to things of that nature. SEO, search engine optimization. That is analogous with organic. GEO, generative engine optimization. It's ranking for ChatGPT, Google's AI, all the AI solutions out there or softwares out there. PPC, pay per click, right? That's Google ads. So just understanding, and then CTR, click-through rate. So let's just kind of understand Google ads at its core. Google ads is a bidding auction, right? So if you're willing to pay $2 a click and a competitor comes in, they're willing to pay $2.50 a click, you constantly are outbidding each other. Some crazy examples of insane cost per click. Did an ad campaign focusing on car accident victims. A lot of law firms, you see those TV commercials. I saw just a click in those scenarios cost $250 to $500 a click, right? So getting a click's step one, but then you've got your conversion rate, right? And I probably should put that on here as a term, which is how many people, when they get to your website, submit their info, right? So if I've got a 1 and a strong conversion rate, we'll say is 20%, right? 1 in 5 people visit my website actually turn into a lead. If I'm paying $250 a click, that means I'm paying $1,250 a lead, right? So you want to understand how this stacks up on a cost structure. Because then I also got to know my close rate. All right. What if I only close every other customer? Well, then that $1,250 a lead turns into $2,500 customer acquisition cost. Okay. And then I got to do the math of, okay, well, those lawsuits can be $10,000. Well, maybe that's not a bad, ROI, return on investment for them. So, localize, right? That is, there's an SEO component of it. When you do Google ads, if you're localized business versus like national organizations usually don't use their GBP in Google ads. They just focus on their website. But if you're a localized service business, you're going to have your GBP connected to the ads. So you'll actually populate in what's called a map pack. And that's when it says sponsored, right? So when it says sponsored, that's a Google ad delivery. When it delivers on search, there's no cost. Google only charges pay per click. So when somebody clicks on it, that's when you get charged. Right. So localized is focusing on your GBP, GMB, and getting that, performing better for searches. Website, that's a long-term growth. That's SEO, GEO, organic. Okay. Now Google Ads can route to your website. It can also route to what's called a conversion landing page that can be on your website or off your website. There's a lot of different tactics there, and that's a whole conversation in itself. But your website is really where you get that organic GEO SEO rank. And what happens there is if I rank number one when I'm not running ads, then I also get that high click-through percentage. I'll show you statistics on what the percentage is at 2, 3, 4, it drops off even more. But if you're not in the top 3 or 4, I think it's like 80% of people click on the top 3 or 4 ranks, right? Combined, we add those percentages. And then ads, right? And sometimes I call that defending the castle. At the very least, and I'll show you some revenue numbers of a chart here. I'll have it pop up where we actually show the revenue of Google over the past decade or two. It's insane. It's like an exponential curve. So what's that mean? Google, everybody's doing ads. So at the very least, I'm not going to say every business should, but 95% of B2C businesses, B2B is a different ballgame. Business to customer should be doing Google ads at the very least to defend the castle, protect your brand in your backyard, 5, 10, 20 mile radius if you're localized, or on national scale, just on your brand focus. On Google Ads, there's a couple different tactics, right? There's different campaign types. There's smart, which those are really simple. Some people try to do them themselves. They're not super complex. We as a business do it for a few businesses that just want you to handle it. The challenge with smart, there's pros and cons, is there's a limited on keyword targeting list. You can't do, a limited amount. You can't and organize it by ad groups, and you can't do different targeting tactics, which are broad match, exact match, and phrase match. I'll explain those in a minute. But it's a great starting point on Google Ads if you've never done them for your business. PMax, it's Performance Max. That came out maybe like a year or change ago. That's kind of like an in-between, I'll call it smart and search. Allows you to do some cool display advertising, like on the Gmail app and YouTube app. So it's a bit of a hybrid between Google and maybe a Facebook, Instagram display ad push advertising. I call Google pull advertising, right? Somebody's searching and I'm paying to be number one and I'm trying to pull in my direction. Facebook, Instagram, I don't need a search. It's push advertising. I'm pushing an idea in front of them. So PMax is a little bit of both. It's a little bit of push and pull advertising at the same time. True search campaigns, I call these advanced search campaigns. Those are the ones that really are more complex. You've got ad groups, you've got keyword targeting, you got different type of keyword targeting. You've got bid strategy, maximize clicks versus maximize conversions. I can do target CPA, which is target cost per acquisition. I can actually put a limit on how much I'm willing to pay for a lead. And that's, again, a topic all on its own. And then YouTube, also owned by Google. Those ads, if you want to push your YouTube video, get more views, or do more of a display advertising technique there, it has its own advertising that's also done in Google. So as a whole, this is a really complex structure. The biggest thing I like people to understand, if you run Google ads, right, in 2025, the singular thing I've seen businesses struggle with is they only do this. Right? I'm going to do this and that gets me my leads. Well, the problem is as soon as search volume drops, you're down season, right? So do a lot of work in the tint PPF ceramic coating industry. Tint it literally cuts in half during December, January versus June, July when it's hot. Well, when I only do this and search volume drops, well, I'm not going to get any leads. And so you got to supplement that. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, what I like to call, I can't build a building on one pillar. I really got to focus on SEO and GEO, and they're a little bit long-term, right? When I focus on SEO, I make improvements to a website. It's not going to give you immediate return, but it's like a real estate investment. It's going to give you returns next quarter, next half, year over year. But if I invest in this, when these aren't running, I'm still ranking number one, hopefully, if the company's doing the right thing and give me the searches I want. So these fill in the voids of my PPC. So when this is dropping off, I still get some searches here, and I can actually help keep that lead volume up even in down season. And then I can also do some display ads where I push advertising for when there's not enough searches to even generate and grab there. So all of these are really different avenues of growth. And to be successful in 2026, you got to check every box box needs to be checked. Okay. If you don't do every box, you're going to be calling your marketing partner, me, whoever, and saying, man, we're slow right now. And those shops and businesses I work with aren't calling me, checked all these and focused on them. And it doesn't have to be crazy budget, crazy investment, but a little bit of each is better than everything in one place. As a whole, Google is a very complex machine to win and really grow your business through, right? And what you need to understand is, again, when you focus only on this, you're never ending paying money to Google. Google's a for-profit business. If I only pay money to Google ads, I don't improve my website or my organic rank. So my lead volume there stays weak. So the long-term play is I do this to get my business up out of a slump, right? And maintain growth. And I can continue to pump money towards that at a certain extent. And then once I get this profiting and generating, I need to take those funds and invest them into organic, because that's going to allow me over time to not have to spend as much on Google ads. But like I said, you always got to defend the castle. At a certain extent, you're probably going to always need to put some money into Google ads. But my goal is get those leads up, get the business busy. Then when you're busy and you've got good revenue and extra profitability to put back into the long-term growth, pump it back into the website and other localized map pack strategy and SEO. So that's kind of our suggestion and tactic, but just kind of want to go over all this as a whole. And if you have any questions, make a comment, and look forward to sharing some more info with you guys in the next video.
Velocity SEO is a team of over 40 Apex achievers focused on a wide range of services. We specialize in website design, development and hosting, SEO, GEO, paid ads on Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, CRM systems, and integration of software applications, photography, video production, and overall content creation, marketing and growth strategies, voice over IP phone solutions, credit card processing, and even custom software development for business management such as ERP applications. We even do custom print, branded, and manufactured products. Our services help small businesses and startups to national corporations that generate hundreds of millions in revenue each year. If it's needed to help your business grow or stand out, we offer it and excel at it.